Life has been happening. So I apologize for the little bit of break in between episodes. Hopefully, it hasn't made your flipping businesses fall apart. I I'm excited to have episode 163 of Flipping Genius that will soon be on the books and be able to share some, I hope, some good information. Uh, I say life has been happening because I have been having a good time. My brother Brad visited me from Kansas City, and we had a great time. I talked about that some in a video that I posted on the Flipping Genius YouTube channel, and I think I put it on the Flipping Genius car flipping forum. So, um, see, it's not like I forgot about my duties completely, but I did try to. Terry and I also enjoyed uh, about a week at the lake house, and that was a terrific time too. And anybody that knows my brother's high energy level knows that I probably needed a week's vacation just to relax after hanging out with my brother. But he's an awesome guy, and I talked a little bit about that, and time with Brad made me reevaluate a few things. Um, but I'm back at the mic and back at the camera, so let's get caught up. In episode 161 of Flipping Genius, I talked about three. I can never figure out where to go. Put three vehicles that I bought in one day, and I wanted to update you on those deals. Um, like I mentioned in episode 162, the first one of that group was the Lincoln LS that sold almost immediately to the first person that looked at it. Great car, great transaction. The other two present a little more trouble than I had anticipated. Kind of funny because you don't, I don't always know. I would have guessed the Lincoln was going to be the most problematic of the three, but the Hyundai Accent had a '08 Hyundai Accent with manual transmission. Seemed pretty solid, but as you know, everything I do goes first to Dennis Johnson, and Gary told me it needed a new clutch, and I wanted to sell it right, so we put a new clutch in it. It seemed okay to me, and I'm kind of wondering about that one, but anyway, too late now. It's got a new clutch in it, and we had to replace a door handle and a mirror. I put a new battery in it yesterday, and I've got to get the detailing completed. So get off my dead ass is the that's the code for that. Um, but even after having spent more than I expected to in repairs, that one should pretty easily net $1,000 profit. Once I find somebody that wants to stick shift, because that's always a little bit of an issue. But the fact that there's a shortage of people that can drive manual transmissions in the United States, there's also a shortage of manual transmission vehicles, especially one that's probably going to get 40 miles a gallon. Pretty decent little car. The other one was the Honda Pilot that I anticipated being the sure thing of the bunch. Turns out there's some issues both with the engine and the transmission, but they're repairable, especially if somebody is a DIY guy. Um, and so I've got a couple who are looking at that probably be sold um, out of town. I've promoted it through a couple of my barter networks, and I expect to sell it within the next week or so. And I'm pretty sure that will generate $1,000 in net profit. So as those come to fruition, I will update you in future episodes, not episodes. And so the whole key, of course, the whole key is always you make your money when you spend it. Excuse me. Actually, coffee this morning, not Kickapoo Joy Juice. Um, if you are a member of the car flipping forum, you've probably seen my video also on a solid Kia Sedona that I bought, a little van. It is also likely sold already. I just got news from Gary yesterday that it's pretty much they just had to replace a couple tires. A couple of the bad tires I knew I had to replace. Um, it's also going to generate probably substantially more than $1,000 in profit, even after that stupid tax that I had to pay for blowing out one of the good tires when I towed it myself. And if you haven't seen that video, the video is available on the car flipping forum. Hey, remember, it's free to join that. Just search Flipping Genius under Facebook groups. Free to join, and you can share with me, share with other car flippers all around the country and all around the world. I think we have over 800 members, and most of them are here in the United States, but we've also got members in Canada and a bunch of other countries too. And always interesting to hear from everybody. And if you are a member, please participate as much as possible, because that's the key. But it is free to join, free to join. I did manage to buy one vehicle while I was vacationing. I put the air quotes here. While I was vacationing with my brother, he was on vacation, and but a vacation with my brother is a just ongoing, man. You're golfing, you're disc golfing, you're walking, you're hitting golf balls. He's an amazing guy, but I talked about that, so I won't talk about it anymore. But while we were on vacation, we also looked at a bunch of houses that were under construction, and we also took a look at and participated in a car auction. And that was a lot of fun and very educational, I think, for both of us, because my brother has a different view of business, which is insightful. And I did manage to buy one there, but I'm not sure how that's going to turn out, because we're still waiting for feedback from Gary and the guys at Dennis Johnson Auto Repair. If you're in the area, if you're in our area, I recommend those guys highly. I talk about them all the time. Chances are you're not in our area, because we have listeners in all 50 states. And but if you're in North Alabama, there's no better guy, no better crew, and they do all my work for me. In all these items, though, the key of all these vehicles is I bought them right. That's the whole key. I kept my risk to a minimum, and I think that may be the most important thing I do. And I've thought about that before. I've probably mentioned it before. We're on episode 163. I've got well over 100 videos on our YouTube channel. And I think I do bring value to you guys, and thank you for those of you who have reached out and shared your comments on that. But really, what it comes down to, so often what I know about business, and especially the car flipping business, is buy low, sell high. Buy as good a deal as you can, sell it for as much as you can within reason, and that's how you make money in this business. And there's a lot in between, but that's the key. I'm happy to say that I passed that bit of information along with a few other tidbits of wisdom here and there to a young friend of mine, Joey. And when we get back, I'm going to take a little break, short break. And when I get back, I'm going to share a couple insights that Joey was kind enough to share with me when he stopped by this week. Be right back. I always enjoy talking to my young friend Joey. I say young because Joey is 19 years old, and he bought a car from me when he was only 14 years old, so 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago. He fixed that up and flipped it for a profit, and he's been doing more of the same ever since. He flips cars as a side hustle and makes a considerable income, in addition to holding down a pretty responsible full-time job and adding even more income on the side of that by repairing small engines and doing some other repair work. one of these days, I'm hoping to get Joey to sit with me on Flipping Genius and share some of his war stories. This kid is a hustler, but his time is at a premium. I thought I'd share though. I thought I'd share a couple of Joey's insights that he shared with me when he dropped by to help me with some lawn equipment that I needed repaired this week. Um, what a fun thing to see it come full circle, and it has so many times. Everything time Joey stops by, I think I learn as much from him as he does from me, if not more so. Really sharp kid. Now, I'm just going to share two insights with you that Joey shared with me. Um, the first one is I'm just going to call it be kind to others. Now, each day, and you've probably heard me say this before, each day my sweet sister-in-law would say to my nephews, her sons, when they left to school, Julie would say, every day, she'd say, be kind to others and always do your best. And those guys are adults now, and they're great young men. Joey apparently had a similar influence in his life. Now, I've met his dad, and I think I've met his grandfather, and they seem like men of few words, which is interesting because Joey talks a lot to me. But he obviously follows that plan to be kind to others. Joey works in a management capacity for a fast food restaurant during his day job. He works 40 hours a week, which for a kid like Joey is kind of a part-time gig. While he's doing his job, as well as while Joey does everything he does, he is kind to everyone he comes across. Joey talks with people. He asks them questions and he listens to those answers. These days, that's pretty unusual, especially for a 19-year-old. The net result is that many people are kind back to Joey, and some even want to do business with this nice, young, attentive kid. Man, he's 19 years old. It's been so long since I was 19, but I know when I was 19, I thought I was a man. And Joey, hey, he is. He's a sharp young guy, and he handles his business. That's resulted in Joey buying several vehicles for nearly nothing, and getting one or two cars for free. And it's also resulted in Joey getting some easy, profitable, just quick sales of the vehicles he's reconditioned to these people who trust him and believe in him because of the way he's treated them outside of the car flipping business. So, I don't know how it's not a very technical thing, but just think about it. It goes back to the golden rule that we were taught. I think most of us were taught when we were a kid, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I try to practice that. Probably not as good at it as Joey is, but I try to, and I guarantee it's one of the best things I do too. So good one there. The second one, and this is a little more technical maybe. What a great idea. I use other people's money. I probably mentioned that. I remember a while back I had a friend of mine on, and we talked about specifically using other people's money. The idea was we were talking about floor planning, which is not something I do, and I don't like borrowing money, but Joey has brought this idea to a different level, to a different place, especially for a 19-year-old guy. It blew me away to hear that 19-year-old Joey is doing this. His credit is nearly perfect. That's the first step. You got to pay your bills on time, get that credit score as high as you can. So Joey has leveraged that good credit into two deals this past year where he had his bank, in his case, a credit union, provide 100% of the purchase price for vehicles. These were expensive vehicles. Joey doesn't do this, with $300 cars. but one was 20,000 and one was 21,000, I believe. And then he turned around and sold the vehicles to, and this is amazing, to a national used car dealership. I'm not going to give a promotion for them until they want to give me some money. But you could probably figure out who it is. There's a couple of them out there like this. Joey's gone to the same one both times, and if Joey comes on, I'll welcome him to share that information with you. But he went to this national used car dealership chain for a substantial profit before his first payment to the credit union was even due. Having this available cash allowed Joey to move to the front of the line in these two situations where the sellers were in a hurry to cash out of their vehicle for one reason or another. They just needed to get the cash out, and they were willing to negotiate, and Joey negotiated excellent buys on both of these vehicles based on the homework that he had done on the vehicles and on the national dealerships buying parameters before he went and made the deal. So he knew in advance about what these guys were going to pay him for these cars, and then he bought the cars, and in the end he walked away with $3,000 and $4,000 in net profit without doing any more than, I think, running the cars through a car wash, driving down there and turning over the keys and the title. He did have to get them titled in his name, which is an issue that I'll have Joey address when he comes online. Some creative ideas that he has there too. But he's doing things legal and above board, and it's impressive. But on those two deals, yeah, absolutely had to have the vehicles titled in his name. He did, and he turned them over and walked away with about $7,000 between the two vehicles. He's just a smart kid, and like I said, I hope to have Joey come on the podcast soon and share more of the details on this. And if you'd like to learn more, email me at flippingquestions@gmail.com or contact me on the Car Flipping Forum. I'll be reaching out to Joey. He's due back here next week. We'll be talking, and hopefully we'll have him on a future episode. But he's a busy guy, so I'm not going to commit him until he commits to doing that myself to me. Okay, that's what I have for this episode. Now remember to save the podcast among your favorites and subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. And also please subscribe to the Flipping Genius YouTube channel. Otherwise you're going to miss some things that I'm posting in between episodes, and you don't want to miss any of this stuff. Especially when we have guests on here, or just my pretty face. You don't want to miss that, right? Join the Car Flipping Forum. It's free. FREE. It's free to join. Just go to Facebook groups. Type in on the search. Type in Flipping Genius under the Facebook groups, and you're going to find us. There'll be a bunch of groups there that we run, but the blue one, the first one you see, is the Car Flipping Forum, and it's free to join. And once you're on there, please participate and share with others. It's a great place to share good information and learn some things too. And you can see all of our great stuff, including over 100 videos, over 160 podcast episodes going back 4 years now, I think. And our resources page where you can save money. And if you've got something you want to share where we can save each other more money, make more money, share that with me, and I'll put it on the resources page too. You can find all that stuff at the website, flippinggenius.com. That's FLIPPINGENIUS.com, only one G. And please consider becoming a flipping team member, a flipping partner, or a flipping champion so we can help you make more money. Hey, let's work together. Let's make some money. Let's all become flipping geniuses.